Welcome to F1000. It's round 9 of the Formula One calendar, betting on the Spanish Grand Prix. Well, this is the big week with the new technical directive to reduce the flexibility of the front wings. We were hopeful that this new TD might have shaken up the pecking order a little bit, but it appears to have had no effect on the order. And according to Lewis Hamilton, a massive waste of money. The McLarens are still dominant, Max is still right there behind them, and the Ferraris and the Mercedes will be battling for the next best. This is the slip for the Spanish Grand Prix, and this is why we like them. Bet 1 is Max Verstappen to finish third, exactly P3. It's plus 160, and we have $300 on it this week. Just like I mentioned in the intro just a moment ago, the new technical directive is here, but it hasn't had that much effect on the order. The McLarens have been leading the pack all weekend, and Max once again slides in right behind them in P3 on the grid. George has been the biggest threat really to that extra podium position this year, but with the Mercedes' potential challenges with tire degradation in the Spanish heat this weekend, we see this as a race where the McLarens run away with it, and Max probably sitting in P3 with 6 seconds ahead and 6 seconds behind to either George or one of the Ferraris. Bet 2 is a match bet, and speaking of the Ferraris, we're on Lewis Hamilton versus his teammate Charles Leclerc. It's even money, plus 100, and we have $300 on this one this week. Lewis and the Ferrari have been decent with race pace this year, but have really struggled for that one-lap qualifying pace on Saturdays, and Lewis has been open the past few weeks that's been his focus, is improving his performance on Saturday qualifying. Well, here we are. Lewis is ahead of his teammate. Lewis starts in P4. Charles is in P7. We've got the Mercedes right there with them. We think it's likely that Lewis might even be challenging to move ahead of George. Certainly Fred Vasseur thinks so, and Toto is worried about George moving backwards with the tire degradation. We like that Lewis starts well ahead of Charles this week, and we like him to hold position and finish ahead of his teammate, likely in P4. Bet 3 is a group bet, and we're taking Pierre Gasly to win Group 2. It's plus 175, and we're putting $250 on it this week. Gasly's group in Group 2 has him, Hajar, Alonso, and Albon. And the Alpine with Gasly has been quietly consistent throughout this triple header. It's kind of been right up there fighting for points. And when we look at the other 3 drivers this week, with Albon and the Williams, we knew they would have a hard time in Spain with the long sustained corners. They really don't suit the Williams that well. Alonso's shown pace, but something's going to break down in his car to keep him out of the points. He's the unluckiest driver in Formula One. So we see that this group really comes down to Hajar versus Pierre. We're getting great value on the driver that qualified ahead, starts ahead, and has been showing good pace lately. Bet 4 is another group bet, and we're on Yuki Tsunoda to win Group 5. It's plus 333, and we're putting $150 on this one. Now, Yuki's group has Lawson, Sainz, and Colapinto. And this is a bit of a long shot, as the line suggests, but we were just talking about how we expected the Williams to be struggling this weekend with the longer corners, and Sainz, well, he struggled as well. Now, he had some traffic in his qualifying, but we don't think that this is the Williams from the past few weeks that actually has race pace and expected to be competitive. At Spain, they were not expected to be competitive, and I don't think Sainz is going to be the biggest threat to Yuki in this group. Similar with Colapinto, he's a rookie. He had his issue in the pit lane that hurt him in the qualifying and hurt others, including Sainz, in the qualifying, but I really don't see Colapinto as a threat over the Grand Prix. This one, we see it coming down to Lawson. We think it's very likely that the final few laps of this Grand Prix are going to be highlighting the battle between the Red Bull rivals. And for the value that we're getting at plus 333, we like Yuki in his Red Bull to pull off the last to points, just like we just saw him do 2 weeks ago in Imola. that's the bet slip for the Spanish Grand Prix 2025. Let us know in the comments what you're betting on, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for our home race, round 10, the Canadian Grand Prix.